on the third floor of KKG, and this is the janitor's closet for third floor. And this is the larger closet, so it's going to have the majority of the supplies in it, like toilet paper, paper towels, trash can liners, and things like that. There is some storage in level 2 janitor's closet, but not as much, so we're kind of loading this one up. On this shelf, we've got paper towels, and we just, as much as we could get in there. And then we're going to have more trash can liners here. We've got large trash can liners on this shelf. I'm hoping I can get Marianne to start ordering rolls of trash can liners instead of these single pull ones. And then on this shelf down here, we've got smaller trash can liners for each bathroom and the mini trash cans for the stalls. On here, obviously mops are hanging. We've got the Livman mop. These are clean mop heads. Can you see? You got your camera? Okay. Clean mop heads here. And we really want to have a system going where everything is where it should be, because we've got multiple people cleaning here now. We're probably going to have 2 to 3 different staff members trying to clean. And the shifts are much longer shifts now than they used to be. And so we got to make sure that we get in here and we're not having to reorganize and look for things because they're not where they belong. We're going to hamper each other, and things will get frustrating if we can't just put together some type of a system of where do things go, you know, and how are we caring for everything. We want to get in here and get out of here. Nobody wants to be here very long. So let's just, you know, keep our mop heads here, keep the mops and brooms hanging. There are some extra chemicals over here we're not using quite as much. I'm not going to take them out of the closet in case there's some, you know, use for them at some point. Try to keep the extra toilet bowl cleaner here. We're still going to be rotating how often we clean the bathroom stalls. We're not going to be scrubbing top to bottom in those toilets every single time, just like last year. We'll do them probably twice a week. However, we will disinfect handles and touch points, you know, where you're opening and closing the door and flushing the toilet and stuff like that. We will make sure that we're spraying down and disinfecting that kind of stuff. But there will be Lysol wipes. We just need to use them very judiciously because those will not be as available this year as they were last year. Every single girl's room is going to have a disinfectant sprayer and paper towels in their room so that they can sanitize. So that's why these are up here. I'm not sure how the girls are going to access those because we're going to lock this door and it's going to stay locked. So maybe Marianne will help them access those, or she'll text us and request us to leave some out in the hallway or something for the girls. I'm not really sure. That's forthcoming. Up here, do you see up high? There is these big jugs of Odoban disinfectant, and that is the spray that is in each room. Each girl has a spray bottle of Odoban, and that's their disinfectant, and so they're going to need to refill their bottles, and that's why Marianne ordered that. Here's some hand soap. We're not refilling hand soap every day at this point, so it's not on the main shelf. I put it up high. We will need to access it, but at least it's not in the way of stuff that we're trying to rotate through every day, like toilet paper, paper towel, you know, mop heads and all this stuff. This is our everyday stuff, so that's why that's up there. Down here is a little step ladder if you need it. I've cleaned out all kinds of equipment that didn't belong in here that we're not using. There is a bowl brush under here. We don't use this all the time, but it's there so that if we need it, we can use it every now and then. There's a purpose for that. Okay. Over here, thank you, Tori. You guys can shuffle. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. Over here is this is for dirty rags. It's lined with a shopping bag. Thank you. An old shopping bag, and there are more of those up here on the cupboard or on the shelf, and we can use this as our dirty rag bucket. and that needs to go down every single day. It needs to make its way down to the main janitor's closet. You don't have to take the bucket if you don't want. You can just pull the bag out of it and take that bag down there, and then make sure that you dump the rags into the dirty rag bucket in the main janitorial. Don't just put the bag of rags in that, like dump the bag out so that all the rags can be dumped into a washer without there having to be a lot of handling of that going on. There is a large, this is a grout brush and can be attached. You can just take the pole off of this, unscrew it, screw it in the end of that, and scrub the grout around the base of the toilet if that ever becomes a need. That's what that is, and that's up there. You can, if you need to get a mop bucket full of water, you've got that there. Alrighty, one more video on the trash bucket. This is our main tool for KKG. There's one on both levels. We're dragging this thing around up and down the floor, cleaning bathrooms and such. And since there's multiple people using this, we need a system. We need to all make sure that it's clean and put together at the end of the day so that whoever shows up tomorrow is not dealing with where's my stuff and where do I and why is there trash and so forth. So here's how this is. The little cleaning caddy. When you hook the cleaning caddy over the side of the bucket, you need to make sure that it's not hooked over this handle area. So you don't want this hooked over there. You want it hooked off in between the two handles. Speaking of handles, the trash can liners feed through those handles, so you need to make sure that both layers of the trash can liner in here are up above the handle, and then the roll of trash can liner. So you have a roll, pull it out, just drop the roll down into the bottom and drape it through and over that, so that as you need things, you can just rip it off and take it. Okay. And so you can see that there's two trash can liners in here. This one is kind of a storage area. It's nice, clean, and you can see inside that we keep toilet paper and paper towels, extra of those. The more toilet paper and paper towels you keep in there, the less room you have for trash. So kind of have to balance that out, like how much TP and toilet paper or TP and paper towels do you really need for the day up here. And you're probably going to need quite a bit, so that does, you're going to end up having to reline your trash can maybe a couple of times. You need to make sure that when you're done grabbing toilet paper and paper towels, that this comes back over the edge. This needs to always be over the edge, because I guarantee there's multiple people just going to be throwing trash in here and not look. There's trash is going to end up down in here, and then it's a pain in the butt, and somebody's got to get it out of there. Somebody's got to clean this out, and nobody wants to be doing that. So let's make sure that the trash goes in here. So okay, and then on this side is extra trash can liners for this item itself, and they are not on a roll, and so you have to open them up and just drape them over. And you don't, when you bring the cart back and are taking the trash can liner out and you're here at the closet, you don't have to use one of these. You can just use the ones that are on the shelf so that you've got spares. Those are basically spares. If you happen to be down at the end of the hallway and realize that your trash is full, then you'll at least have a couple hanging over the edge. But they're not super convenient to be loading and unloading off of that handle. But you do want access to some. Okay, the caddy. There's one of these in here. I always have one in my apron. Like, I just keep it here. So whether that needs to be there or not, that's kind of dependent on who's using the cart every day. I keep my toilet swab, my toilet mop, they call it, in a cup on the cart. I'm using that every couple of days. I might not be using this all the time. So if it's not toilet day and you don't want to lug it around, you're welcome to take it out. Same with this. Keep this up here on non-toilet days. I'll just put those there. And on days where I'm not actually cleaning the toilet from top to bottom, I might take one of these and just use it on the seat, touch up anything, the handle, just to, you know, we're doing a touch-up day. We still need to do some touch-up. So, and then you're gonna have a sprayer of disinfectant. This will have disinfectant in it, and that could be hanging over the cart. That's what's nice about these larger spray things. You can hang them over the cart. This is your shower spray. As Crystal knows that you're gonna clean showers and spray this all on your corners and edges, and it's gonna kill the mold. And then your glass spray. One more note about sprayers. If this says glass spray and you put disinfectant in it, then you got to get rid of this label and you got to write disinfectant on it. I show up every week, every single week, I show up to an account where there's a spray bottle full of liquid that has no label, just a blank. And I don't know what's in it, and I have to pour it out. I cannot leave it. So if you just made a full bottle of Windex and stuck it in a bottle and didn't put a label or take a Sharpie. Talking about disinfectant, I got a phone call, so I had to stop video. But we need to make sure that our bottles are labeled. It's very important. It's OSHA, and we just don't want to be throwing out chemicals. It's not good for anything. It doesn't help the environment. It doesn't help anything. It's just waste. And I throw out a lot of chemicals every week just because I show up and bottles are not labeled. So I really appreciate making sure that that you have a Sharpie that you can label. I'll try to keep Sharpies in the closets and make sure that we all label our stuff. I always try to keep a thing of Dawn's, like a big thing of Dawn. I just fill this up and keep this in here, and we can squirt this in the toilet, use it as a mop bowl. Once the toilet's clean, then we can kind of use that as a mop bowl, and just use a little bit of Dawn. That's generally all that's needed on these floors. Just making sure I got everything. This can be used in the shower corners. This can also, that's why this is here, so it's shower day. You can load your bucket up with shower spray, shower scrubbies. Make sure that you have your shower items. And if you want to bring in your mold stuff, you can bring that. And if you're doing toilets, you can leave your shower stuff here. Might not need that. Grab your toilet and load your cart up with your toilet items. It just depends on what kind of what you're doing for the day.